You know my husband is a changed man. Please don't plan anything illegal.
We go way back, from before he was famous.
Ooh, I'm intrigued.
I don't care how famous you are. Do you understand?
Why, yes, ma'am.
I'm Miss Jean. Join me on a trip to Discovery Mountain, where the air is clear enough to hear your imagination, and where every day is an exercise in faith. Join me for today's expedition in Discovery Mountain. This season, called Courageous, started with the shocking arrest of Mr. Simon. Yes, you heard right. We went back to a week before his arrest to try and find out what happened. Well, we're still in the week before, and things don't quite feel normal in Discovery Mountain. Governor Ward's family and his lawyer, Mark Marshall, they're in town for a hearing for the governor. And there's a new judge in town, Barber. Yes, the same Barber who tried to ruin the Harmony Corner Church. We're going to have to go back in time to figure out what is going on. Speaking of Mark Marshall, he's walking into City Hall with Kate Ward now. Let's join them in today's episode called Stand Alone.
I haven't been inside City Hall in years. I forgot how beautiful it is.
Why is there such a grand city hall and courthouse in this middle-of-nowhere town anyway?
Middle of nowhere? I did grow up here, don't forget.
Yes, well, still, why is it here?
I don't know. I never really thought about it.
It must be preferential treatment of old George again. Always everyone's favorite.
Mr. Simon?
Mayor Simon. He's a town founder, businessman, mayor. Anything else?
Choir leader?
Choir leader. Of course he is. Here's the judge's chambers. Now remember, Kate, let me do the talking.
All right, fine.
Good morning, Judge Barber.
Mark? Mrs. Ward, how good to see you. Please, have a seat.
Thank you, Judge Barber.
Now, before we bring the governor in by video conference, I want to assure you, Barber.
Let me stop you now, Mr. Smooth Talker. You had a special arrangement with McGee. I didn't just fall off a turnip truck. Why else would the governor's parole hearing be here in Discovery Mountain?
Well,
Your little scheme won't work with me.
Judge, I have no intentions of scheming.
Good. Now, let's patch in the governor.
There you are, hun. We're in Judge Barber's chambers.
Is Mark there?
I'm here, Governor. Don't you worry, the parole hearing is going to happen. Judge Barber is a smart judge. He knows what a high-profile case could do for his career.
High-profile case? Well, that's true.
He also has excellent taste in books. You should see his bookcase. Already impressive.
Impressive? Well, yes, of course.
Pleased to meet you, Judge Barber. We look forward to working with you to set a parole hearing date.
Yes, of course, Governor. Let's begin.
Mark, you're walking so fast. Please wait.
I need to get over to McGee's hotel, Mrs. Ward. There's an old friend I have to talk to.
Of course, but just one question. Will my husband be granted parole? Will he be allowed out of jail early? You and he had a whole plan, but now that McGee...
The judge has changed, but I have a new plan. Don't you worry.
You know my husband is a changed man. Please don't plan anything illegal. Oh dear. Please, God, let Troy's new faith in you stop him from doing anything terrible.
Mark?
No, Granddad, it's me, your granddaughter.
Oh, Natasha, I'm glad it's you.
Are you expecting a Mark?
Well, he's in town, and yes, I keep expecting him to show up.
Is this the famous Mark Marshall, the governor's lawyer?
Well, yes, we go way back, from before he was famous.
Ooh, I'm intrigued.
We met at a business management seminar.
Oh, well, Granddad, tell me about it.
Well, all right. Pull up a chair. It's a long story.
Granddad, you look worried.
Yes, I am a little. You see, I met Mark when your dad was young. He must have been about 15.
Go on.
We'd left Canada, settled here, and I'd just finished building Trekkers. Your dad and Rob and Craig helped build it.
Ah, my dad and his buddies? Did they hang out here at Trekkers?
Oh, they spent a lot of time here. But not just hanging out. I put them to work.
I can just imagine them helping you out here at the store.
Yes, I remember like it was yesterday.
Hey, Brent. Your dad wants us to dust the soup cans.
Nah, we can do that later. Come over here. I almost have the ice cream machine figured out.
Brent, your dad asked us to...
How's the soup can dusting coming along, boys?
Oh, Mr. Simon. We were just getting to that. Right, Brent?
Nah, Dad. I told the guys I would show them the ice cream machine.
How about dust the soup cans and then sweep the steps going out to the loading bay and then...
Yeah?
And then ice cream.
All right. Thanks, Mr. Simon.
Now, get to work, you three.
Mr. George Simon?
Yes, that's me. How can I help you?
Baxter Bilsby recommended you for a business seminar I'm teaching.
Oh?
Yes, someone very influential is sponsoring the seminar. He's looking for good businessmen and women in this area to train.
Well, I'm busy here with my business and as Mr. Bilsby's accountant.
Mr. Simon, I see here that you trained as an accountant in Canada?
Well, yes. You know a lot about me.
It's my job to be thorough. This seminar would certify you to work in any of the U.S. states. You never know. You may want to leave this little place in a few years.
Well, I don't think so. But you make a good point.
Good. I'll sign you up. Classes begin on Monday.
Dad, we're done. Can I work on the ice cream machine now?
Son, please remember not to interrupt.
Oh, sorry, Dad.
Ah, 3 Musketeers.
Yes, this is Brent, Craig, and Robbie, Bilsby's boy.
Good to meet you, boys.
And you are?
Here's my card. I'm Bertha. I'll see you on Monday. Ah, George Simon. Good to see you. Welcome to my business seminar.
Thank you, Bertha. Now, you mentioned that someone influential is sponsoring this seminar. May I ask?
Bertha, darling, you can begin now. I'm here.
Jeanette Jones, welcome. This is George Simon.
You're not the George Simon from Discovery Mountain, are you?
Bertha, you can begin. Your favorite business student is here.
Mark Marshall. Meet Jeanette Jones and George Simon.
Good to meet you. Great hat, Jeanette.
Oh, do you like it?
Yeah, sort of makes a statement.
A statement like...
Like, here I am, Madam Manager.
Oh, darling, I love it.
Well, let's begin, shall we? Please, help yourself to the buffet of snacks provided by our sponsor.
Look at this spread. Donuts, coffee, cola.
Are those apple turnovers?
Apple, cherry, and blackberry. Grab a coffee and a pastry. Let's begin.
Black coffee for me. It'll keep me awake.
This display looks divine.
George, wouldn't you like anything?
Oh, no, thank you. I brought a bottle of water. That's all I need to stay awake and keep my mind sharp.
Are you sure? We'll be covering a lot of material today.
Oh, no, thank you.
All right. Find a seat. Let's begin.
Mark, sit next to me.
You got it, Madam Manager.
Oh, darling, we're going to be the best of friends.
Let's introduce ourselves. George, you studied accounting in Canada. Please, tell us about your business experience.
Sure, yes. I worked in Canada as a chartered accountant, and since relocating here, I run a small business. I'm also Bilsby Builders' accountant.
Bilsby Builders? I'd love to work for Mr. Bilsby. Could you put in a good word for me?
Well,
Jeanette, tell us about your business experience.
Oh, I was born with it. I'm, how do you say it? A natural. It's my destiny.
So, no business experience.
A failed land deal or two, but I'm about to shine. I can feel it.
All right. How about you, Mark?
I'd be happy to share. Yeah, I'm Mark Marshall, and I've run a few small businesses, lemonade stand, newspaper delivery, and I run the register at my uncle's hardware store. Oh, and I'm going to law school one day.
Lemonade stand. Good business idea.
Thank you for sharing, Mark. Do you close out the register at your uncle's store, or does he do that step?
I've been doing that since I was 16.
Oh, good. Then you have some experience reconciling sales and cash?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's begin. Page 1, paragraph 1, accounting fundamentals. When we're looking at balancing the books. All right, that has been a full morning. Let's take a quick break. Help yourself to the buffet.
Oh, goody. Donuts.
Whoa, I need to caffeine back up.
George, no coffee or snacks for you?
Oh, no, I'll be happy to refill my water bottle, if that's all right.
Of course. Can you go through this 10-day seminar on just water?
Of course not. Look, I packed a lunch for today.
Veggies and dip?
Oh, and an apple.
You do know there's a chance for an influential job at the end of the seminar, right?
Yes.
I like you, George. I think you're a better candidate than these other two. But, they're younger than you. Can you really keep up with them without coffee or snacks?
I can.
I'm skeptical.
Test me.
All right. If you keep ahead of these two without coffee or sugar, the job is yours.
Hey, Dad, I restocked that cereal shelf.
Thank you. Now, what are you up to today?
I don't know. Maybe hike up to Lookout Ledge with Craig and Robbie?
Well, come on back here afterwards for ice cream.
Well, are those 10 days over already?
They are.
Did you pass the test with Miss Bertha?
You mean, did I keep up with Jeanette and Mark without the help of caffeine and sugary sweets? Yes, I did.
Ha! Good job, Dad. I knew you could do it.
It means a lot to me that you and Craig and Robbie joined me in healthy eating for these 10 days.
Yeah, we kind of wanted to test ourselves, too.
And?
I feel better when I don't eat ice cream every day.
Let's just keep it as a treat once in a while. Okay, son?
Yeah, definitely. I'll bring the guys back later.
Hey, Brent?
Yeah, Dad?
Thank you for praying with me, too.
Anytime, Dad.
Whoa, your son is in a hurry today.
Hi, Bertha. Yes, his buddies are waiting for him.
The Three Musketeers. So, George, can I change your mind about taking that job with the old tycoon?
No, but I appreciate the offer. I've always thought this property is perfect for a summer camp. I'm going to work on that next.
Well, I wish you all the best. I guess Mark Marshall gets the job.
Ah, Mark. And not Madam Manager?
No. Jeanette shows potential, but she's just not ready yet. I'll see you around, George.
Bye, Bertha.
That doesn't seem so bad, Granddad. Mark got the job, but you passed the test.
Yes, well, that was just our first meeting. The next time, well...
Oh, that's my reminder to meet Jake at the cafe. Granddad, will you tell me the rest of the story tomorrow?
Of course. Say hi to Jake.
I will. Bye.
Hi, Natasha. Jake's waiting for you right over there.
Thanks, Hattie.
You made it. You want a brownie or a milkshake?
I just heard an interesting story from Granddad. Maybe something healthier would be good.
Brianna, what's the soup today?
Hi, Chaplain Jake. Hi, Natasha.
Hi, Brianna.
The soup today is butternut squash.
That sounds yummy and healthy. 1 bowl, please, and water to drink.
Same for me.
All right, coming right up.
What story did Mr. Simon tell you?
Well, back when you first met Jeanette Jones and Mark Marshall, a woman named Bertha was doing a seminar.
Natasha told Jake the whole story as they ate their butternut squash soup.
Natasha, that's just like Daniel and his 3 friends. I'm studying it with my freshman Bible class this semester.
Daniel and his friends. You're right.
Yeah, Daniel purposed in his heart not to defile himself with the king's fancy food, just like Mr. Simon.
Here's your check, Jake. Just pay Brianna at the register when you're finished, okay?
Okay, Hattie.
It's Hattie. Ugh, never mind.
Jake, do you have your Bible?
Yes, indeed.
Let's read Daniel chapter 1. If everything turns out for Daniel, maybe it'll turn out well for Granddad, too.
Well, you'll remember it all starts when Daniel and his friends were taken captive in Jerusalem and then taken to Babylon.
Right, I remember. Then what happened next?
Well, the king, Nebuchadnezzar, asked Ashpenaz to bring the best young people in the land to the palace for training.
Right. Daniel and his friends were part of the group.
They sure were.
Ashpenaz, are these the brightest young minds in all of Babylon?
Yes, King Nebuchadnezzar.
Train them well.
Yes, my king.
We need them to be strong. I'll send down provisions from my own table. The best food and wine in all of Babylon.
Thank you, king.
Now go, train up my next group of wise men.
Welcome to King Nebuchadnezzar's training school. Let's begin with roll call. You.
Me? I'm Daniel.
One of the captives from Jerusalem. No, you need a Babylonian name. You are Belteshazzar.
I prefer Daniel.
You.
Hananiah?
No.
No?
You will be called Shadrach. And you?
I am Mishael.
From now on, you are Meshach. And you?
I am Lilith.
A girl?
Yes.
Unexpected. Okay, you?
I am Samir.
Fine Babylonian name. And you?
Azariah.
Another captive. No, you are Abednego.
Abednego?
Abednego.
Ashpenaz continued with the others and wrote each name on the scroll.
Now that that's done, let's enjoy a feast from the king.
I've never seen such finer food.
Yeah, it looks delicious.
Grapes, they're so good.
Belteshazzar.
Oh, me? Sorry, I really prefer Daniel.
You do, huh? Well, you're an impressive young man, Daniel. I like you. Tell me, why aren't you and your friends eating the king's feast with everyone else?
Well, I've purposed in my heart that I will not defile myself with food from the king's table or with his wine.
Really?
Yes.
And what about you, Meshach?
Oh, that's you, Mishael.
Yes. I feel just as Daniel does.
And you, Shadrach and Abednego?
I have also purposed in my heart not to eat the king's food.
I'm Abednego, right?
There, you got it.
I agree with Daniel and my two friends.
Well, now that puts us in a bit of a pickle. If you become pale and thin compared to the other youths your age, I'm afraid the king will have me beheaded.
Well, will you test us for 10 days on a diet of vegetables and water? At the end of the 10 days, see how we look compared to the others who are eating the king's food.
Test you? All right, Daniel. You and your 3 friends have 10 days.
Thank you.
Daniel, we have to pray that God will help us.
Yes, keep praying every day, 3 times a day. We can't stop now. We need God's help to learn and to pass this test.
Are you listening to the story of Daniel along with Jake and Natasha? Well, we're going to take a quick break, but we'll see if Daniel and his friends pass the test right after this.
Hey, it's Sean Boonstra, Speaker Director of the Voice of Prophecy, the ministry that brings you this program. Has Discovery Mountain been an encouragement to the children in your life? Weekly Discovery Mountain episodes are made possible through the generosity of our supporters. Would you like to join us as a supporter? Find out how you can receive a Discovery Mountain t-shirt as a thank you gift. Call us at 1-877-566-7365 today. That's 877-566-7365.
Meshach.
Yes, Ashpenaz?
Ah, you're used to your new name at last.
Yes, it has been 10 days. I suppose it would sink in eventually.
And where are your friends?
They're just behind me.
Good. Daniel, Shadrach, and Abednego, come here.
Yes?
Let me look at you. You look good.
Wait, you mean...
Yes, you passed the test. You've been eating only vegetables and drinking water, and you look healthier and better nourished than the others.
Could we keep eating this way then?
Yes, whatever you've been doing, keep it up. You are my star students. Now come, let's celebrate with some water.
Lilith, did you hear that?
Oh, yes. Daniel and his 3 friends are Ashpenaz's favorites.
As long as they aren't the king's favorites. I want to work for King Nebuchadnezzar. I'll be one of his trusted wise men.
Yeah. Pass me more of those grapes, will you? We must watch them. They're all trouble, but especially that Daniel.
When the training period ordered by the king was completed, Ashpenaz brought the youths to King Nebuchadnezzar.
Ah, the young captives. Ashpenaz tells me you've excelled in your training.
Yes, King Nebuchadnezzar. God answered our prayers and helped us.
Huh, I see. Well, let me test you myself. Are you ready?
Yes, my king.
Yes.
We're ready.
Yes, we're ready.
The king found them 10 times more capable than any of the others.
So, who got the job?
Oh, they all did. Daniel 1 verse 19 says they served before the king.
Daniel, we got the jobs?
Yes, Abednego. But let's not stop relying on God. Not ever.
Oh, it isn't over though, is it? Just like my granddad's story with Mark Marshall.
Daniel and his friends' test is not over, no.
Jake, we need to pray. For Granddad and for the governor's hearing, and, well, all of it.
We do. Come on, let's pay the bill and then we can pray outside.
It's my turn to pay.
Okay, I won't argue.
No, of course you won't, Jake. That's why I like you.
You, like me?
Of course I do.
How was your meal today?
Oh, the soup was delicious. Here you go.
Oh, do you happen to have exact change?
Exact change? No, I'm sorry.
Okay, that's all right. I can do this. Let's see.
Keep the change, Brianna. We'll see you tomorrow.
Really? Thank you.
Bye, Brianna.
Good night.
Who is it?
Mrs. Lee, it's me, Mark Marshall.
Mr. Marshall, it's late. How can I help you?
Is Kate available?
I'm here. Is everything all right with my husband's case?
Yeah, everything's all right with the case, Kate.
You said this morning that you had a new plan. Nothing unscrupulous, right?
Unscrupulous? Me?
Well, yes, you.
Listen, Kate. The governor's hearing will be a walk in the park.
Oh, good. You showing up at my sister's door this late had me worried. Good night, then.
No, wait. I need to know what you know about the mayor.
The mayor? Why,
You, sister, come here too.
Are you speaking to me? It's Amanda.
Yes. What do you know about George Simon? I need to know everything.
Mark, what does this have to do with Troy's hearing?
Oh, well, it's a roundabout matter.
Roundabout? Mr. Marshall, I don't care how glowing white your teeth are or how perfectly suave your shiny hair is.
Oh, why, thank you.
Don't you ever knock on my door this late at night again, unless it has something urgent to do with my brother-in-law's case.
Oh, well, I am,
I don't care how famous you are. Do you understand?
Why, yes, ma'am.
Good. Good night.
Well, those two aren't going to be any help at all.
Hello?
How's my favorite Madam Manager?
Oh, Mark, you're so funny.
Did you think about what we talked about this morning?
Now, Mark, George and I are buddies nowadays.
Well, buddies or not, something's fishy. Why is he the founder, the mayor, and the choir director?
Because he's George. He's He's always been annoyingly amazing. Remember that business seminar? He wouldn't even eat a cupcake.
Jeanette, he's human. He can't be perfect. Will you agree to at least one thing?
What's that?
Will you agree to look for something wrong? Just look.
Well, that wouldn't hurt, I suppose.
Thank you. Good night, Jeanette. George Simon, I know you have flaws. I just have to find one. Just one.
Director Doug, Mark Marshall seems to have a grudge against Mr. Simon, doesn't he?
He really does, but they've known each other for a long time. All the way back to the seminar with Bertha.
Right. They seemed to get along all right back then, but Mr. Simon told Natasha that there was more to the story.
Right. We'll hear that part of it next time. You know, Jake was right.
Jake, is often right. He's a pretty smart guy. Do you mean about Mr. Simon's experience being similar to Daniel and his friends?
Yeah, Mr. Simon didn't drink the coffee or the cola or eat the unhealthy snacks to keep up with the others in the seminar.
Right. Now he drank water and ate his own lunch, and he stayed ahead of the others.
Just like Daniel and his friends purposed in their heart not to eat the food from the king's table.
Exactly. That food was rich and unhealthy, but there was another reason that Daniel and his friends didn't eat it.
What was that?
Well, the food was offered to idols. As good Israelites, Daniel and his 3 friends would never disobey God's laws and eat food offered to an idol.
Well, that makes sense. Daniel was very careful about that choice. How did the verse read?
Oh, Daniel chapter 1 and verse 8. Let's see here. Daniel purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with the portion of the king's delicacies. Daniel was courageous, and he's going to have to keep being courageous, isn't he?
Yes, Daniel's story doesn't end at chapter 1. He and his friends are going to be tested again.
Just like Mr. Simon. In less than a week, he's going to be arrested and put in jail.
Yes, and I think that Mark Marshall has something to do with that. And how about Judge Barber? Does he have something to do with Mr. Simon's arrest too?
I want to find out too. And I hope that Madam Manager hasn't changed her ways either.
Well, me too. Well, in the meantime, you listening at home, keep exercising your faith. Be courageous and do what's right, even if it's difficult and you have to stand alone.
Yes, dare to be a Daniel.
We'll see you here next time.
I'm Miss Jean, and you've been listening to Discovery Mountain. To listen to other episodes and to send us a message, visit us at discoverymountain.com or write to us at Discovery Mountain, P.O. Box 999, Loveland, Colorado, 80539. And in Canada, write to Box 2127, Oshawa, Ontario, L1H7V4. This has been a production of The Voice of Prophecy. Join us again next time here at Discovery Mountain.